Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today I'm doing something a bit different. We're doing a power supply unboxing and overview, and we're checking out this guy today. It's the Thermaltake Toughpower Grand 750 watt RGB gold rated power supply. So PSUs haven't been something I've covered that much on this channel, but seeing as a lot of people are taking them more and more seriously as opposed to a few years ago, mainly because now with how advanced some of the CPUs are, they actually require quite good power supplies in order to run them. You know, we noticed that with Skylake when it first came out. People were having to check to make sure that certain power supplies would work with them. So yeah, this one should be quite interesting, and let's jump straight in then, see what it has inside. So as you can see, it's still in the plastic. Haven't taken it out of the plastic yet. So 750 watt, that's a good amount. People often go way too crazy in terms of how much power they need for their system. Most people go overkill. I have a 1000 watt power supply in my system, and that is just way too overkill. Although I have a more valid reason for doing it, and you'll notice that a lot of tech reviewers often go way over the top, then tell you not to copy them. And that's because we might need them for certain things we're testing, especially when it comes to testing out dual graphics cards, like doing SLI and Crossfire. We actually do require it. But for people that, oh boy, this plastic's so good, you definitely know no one's going to be getting into this. For people that aren't doing that, you know, the vast majority of people tend to gravitate towards bigger ones, but they honestly don't need it. And in terms of power efficiency, you're actually better off the majority of the time going for something closer to what you need in terms of your peak power. So yeah, let's open it up then. We've already had a nice look around the outside. So yeah, for most people, I mean, a 650 watt power supply is plenty, you know. Most people don't really need to go above that unless you have some specific, you know, reason, like you're running multiple GPUs or something like that. Okay, so we open the top here. First we just see this will just be a manual, then you know everything. It gives you an idea of what it comes with, all of that fun stuff. Let's go over it. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is a modular power supply. Now if you do not know what that means, it means that a non-modular power supply, the cables are basically hardwired into the power supply, which means that any cables you do not use, you're just going to have to tie up at the bottom of the case or something like that. Fully modular like this means that you can just use the cables you need to. So the cables come separately in a bag like this, and then you can simply, you know, just pick and choose the ones that you want. So let's have a look, see here. Did I drop something? Nope. So of course you have the power cable, obviously, you know, so you can actually plug your power supply into the wall. Let's open up the rest of these. So there'll be all the standard ones you need. There'll be a, let's get you open here. Let's go for the main one. So we see here, this is a, this one here is a FDD adapter. So there's that if you really need it. Okay, these guys right here. So CPU power. Okay, so this is the CPU power here. ATX 12 volt 4x4 pin power connectors. This is what you'll put in the top of your motherboard on most motherboards anyway. Have these are all your SATA power. So one end goes in obviously the power supply, and then these 5 pins go in the back of your hard drive or SSD to provide them with power. Just got more of them, whole bunch more of them. This is all standard, pretty much all the stuff you'd use. Some, what are these guys right here? It's PCI, oh these are the Molex, yeah, it's all pretty standard. And here, this is what you guys are mainly going to be keen about. Nice red as well. So these are the PCIe ones. This will be what you use to plug in your graphics card. And we got the big boy down the bottom there. That big guy right there. And that is your 24 pin motherboard power. And that's the the big one that goes usually into the side of your motherboard. Okay, so we'll put all this stuff aside now, so you can actually get to the power supply itself. So yeah, that's all quite good cabling, quite flat cables, which is what I like as well. Makes cable management a bit nicer when you're trying to get everything around. And we'll lift you out here. Okay, so it's coming in a nice sleeve all over. Oh, that looks nice. Very tidy, Thermaltake. Very, very tidy. We just undo it there and get out the power supply. Now this thing has a good amount of weight to it too, so I like to see that. Okay. So as I was explaining, you know, those cables came separately and they plug in here at the back of the power supply. Now the main benefit of this is just tidiness. You only need to plug in what you're going to use, and that's why a lot of people run them, for the fact that it keeps your system nice and tidy in terms of cable management. Now let's talk about the rest of this power supply. So it is a gold rated power supply. That means 90% efficiency, I believe, under full load. So that's pretty good there. What else have we got here? Oh, they got their 12 volt rail, DC to DC design. That's very good as well. Very good power stability coming out of this guy, I believe. Very low ripple. Has their 100% high quality Japanese capacitor. That's good. A lot of them are doing this nowadays, so you definitely want to make sure the power supply you're buying is running Japanese capacitors. Just makes everything better, you know, high quality. You do not want the capacitor to go bad, that's for sure. So there's very strict voltage regulation and very low ripple. That's going to be good for a lot of people out there, especially people who are running newer Intel CPUs such as Skylake or Kaby Lake, since they're fairly similar. This is going to be good not only just for running it in terms of the C5, C7 states they require, but the overclocking wise, you can run into problems sometimes if you have a power supply that has ripple problems. It'll make your overclock very unstable, and that's not what you want to see. So it's good that that's not the case here with this guy, and overclockers will really like that. In the past, I've had bronze rated power supplies and I've had ripple problems, which has just made overclocking an absolute nightmare. So do yourself a favor and get one with very low ripple like this. Now let's talk about that fan in the top. So this is an RGB fan. This is their ring fan, which they've been using for quite a while now. These are pretty good. It's a 140 millimeter or 14 centimeter fan. These have got pretty good blade designs. They're usually good. This is set up for static pressure, I believe, so it's good for just blowing air over tightly packed components, like what you get with a power supply. Thermaltake are also saying that you want to run this power supply face up, obviously, so you can see the, you know, nice RGB light coming out of it. But they're also saying that it has cooling benefits, and this is something that's been debated so much among just everyone in the tech community, the PC community, is should you run the power supply face up or face down in terms of, you know, cooling? Is it better? And the idea being that people say if you run it up, it'll take a lot of that hot air away from the graphics card and exhaust it out the back of your system, which is really good. Critics will say that it's not sucking hot air away, it's actually sucking just, you know, air away from the graphics card, which gives the graphics card less air to cool itself with, and thus temperatures go up. Thermaltake are saying, well, they're saying that it's better. They said it will decrease by about 3 degrees by placing the power supply face up, the internal temperature. So they're obviously on the side that thinks that placing it up, but of course they would be, because if you're buying this, you're not going to put it face down anyways, because you want to see that sexy RGB. So around the back, it also has their RGB lighting button. That's really nice to see, obviously, just to change the lighting. And above that, you have their Smart Zero Fan button. And what that does is it'll actually turn the fan off when the power supply is below 20% load. So that's good. That means there's going to be no noise coming out of it. It's sort of like the 0 decibel technology that we see on pretty much every non-reference graphics card these days. It's basically the same thing. So it just keeps it nice and quiet when the PC is not under much load. So summing up, the Toughpower Grand ticks a lot of the boxes people want when it comes to a power supply. Now it's coming in a 650 watt, 750 and 850 watt models, so that's quite nice. It's fully modular, which a lot of people out there like. The low ripple is really good, being gold rated. That's a really good selling point too. And being RGB, yeah, sure. With how crazy everyone's going these days with RGB motherboards and RGB RAM and everything else, I can see that people would be wanting an RGB power supply as well, just to make everything RGB within their system. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really solid power supply for any of you guys out there. It looks really nice. This does seem like it would be very good. The Smart Zero Fan technology is also a nice addition, just to keep things quiet. A lot of people these days do not want loud systems, and making it very quiet is becoming a bigger and bigger thing for people as they keep building their systems, having all the fans turn off when you're just doing casual things like browsing the web. That is really, really cool, because it's not needed to be running all the fans in the system all the time, so I like that also. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.